Fagan. I want to welcome you to the Lowkick series. Over the next 5 videos, we're going to be covering different aspects of the low kick, different styles, knockout combinations, and counters. In the first video, we're going to be going over multiple low kick styles for every body type and fighting style. The first low kick style is the Dutch low. It's aesthetically pleasing, it is low commitment, it keeps the guard nice and high, so it can flow into combinations rather well. You don't have to commit as far, so the recovery is not as long. But the con is that it's actually not as damaging as it aesthetically looks. But let's go over and break down the low kick now. Little technical implications of the Dutch low kick. My hips are essentially being chopped down in the middle, so my hips can shoot back while my leg comes out simultaneously. The guard stays up. I like to tuck my shoulder slightly for a little bit more pop from my hip. That way, if I do miss, my kick is not as far committed and I can return it back to my neutral stance. Okay, so the Dutch low looks something like this. So I'm here, I'm dropping my weight down onto my lead leg, my hips shoot back as my leg shoots out simultaneously, like I'm being chopped right here. Boom. So it is a very fast low kick, low commitment. I keep my guard high, and then I can transition to punches from the low kick. The second style is a pendulum kick. I like to call it this because it doesn't really take a lot of momentum from a step. Instead, I'm using my own body as a pendulum, keeping my core really tight. So this one is better for longer fighters, counter fighters, and going against aggressive punchers. That way you stay long on the low kick. Maybe not as aesthetically pleasing, but it does interrupt these high volume aggressive punchers. So as my opponent is coming forward at me, I'm going to use that momentum. As soon as I feel his weight shifting towards me, I'm going to do the same by shifting my head offline. This shoulder is connected to this hip, using the cross-sectional area right here in my core to let this hip go. So if I'm going for the outside kick, I am shooting my lead shoulder back and my rear kick comes out simultaneously. Now the opposite goes for the inside kick. As you can tell, my head is swaying away from the target. Less likely that I'll be hit with these volume punches. If my kick is hard enough, as my opponent steps in with his punches, it'll interrupt his footwork as he is coming forward aggressively. The third low kick style is the heavy low, a fight finishing low kick that does take a little bit more timing and commitment, but in return, it could win you the fight via KO. This kick is really good against aggressive punchers that throw straight punches, so perhaps they're a little bit more technical. What I'm going to do is, as Sean is throwing his left hand, I'm going to step my head off center line, and then the kick is going to come down on top of the thigh in a very heavy manner. I can do this as I'm eating punches and returning, or as I'm timing my opponent who's coming with straight punches. This kick can be used effectively as a counter, as shown, or at the end as a part of heavy boxing combinations. As you can see, I'm using a lot of my body weight transfer to create power for the low kick, stepping from my left to right. I hope that you guys enjoyed the first video in the series, but we are just getting started. So make sure that you subscribe, like this video if you did really love it, and then watch next week's video, the second one in the low kick series.